the recording?
It is the 5th of April, Rabbi Furst, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi, Shemini.
Thank you, Lou. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Yes, Parsha Shemini, Shana Tov Pei Daled. We are in chapter Perek Yud Aleph. We're just starting the Rashis on the Parsha there. We can take a look at the. If you want, you could just read over the first two psukim. We can read over the first two psukim, and then we're in the middle of the Rashis there, if you'd like to.
Just read in Hebrew. I mean in English.
Well, whatever you like.
Hashem spoke to Moses and to Aharon to say to them, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the life forms that you may eat from among the animals that are upon the earth. Any one among the animals that has a split hoof, which is separated with a split into hooves, and that brings up its cud, that one may eat."
Right. Okay. So now look at Rashi. We're in the middle of the Rashis here. First Rashi's we're discussing at this point.
Okay. Rashi. So Rashi says that when Hashem says, it says Hashem spoke to Moses and Aaron, he spoke to Moses and that Moses should tell it to Aaron.
Right.
And say to them, Hashem said that Aaron should say to Eleazar and Ithamar. Or perhaps Lemor means only to say to Israel. When it says in the following verse, speak to the children of Israel, you can see that speaking to Israel has been stated in that verse. What then do I maintain say to them of our verse means? To his sons, Eleazar and Ithamar. Speak to the children of Israel. He made them all equal.
Oh, so what's that? So Roy, maybe you want to explain to Lou what our discussion was up till now, what we were trying to work on the Rashi here?
Yeah, we're wondering why, what gave what's his name? Rashi the idea to say that it was his sons, Eleazar and Itamar. Where'd you get that from?
Oh, yeah, it just says Alehem.
Right. So okay. So if we'll understand according to the way Rashi explained it, that it can't really be talking about say to them to Klal Yisrael, because that's the next pasuk, speaking to Klal Yisrael. So it must be to someone else other than Klal Yisrael.
Right.
So the question we were discussing, as Roy mentioned, why is Rashi assuming that the default is going to be to the sons Eliezer and Itamar?
Well, because the other alternative would be to say that it says, speak to Aaron and Moshe and say to Aaron and Moshe. But that's redundant. It's not necessary. Obviously, if you're speaking to them, you're speaking to them. So who else could it be? It can't be Yoshua because that's singular. And this is plural. So who else could it be? It has to be the sons, the only other possibility.
Well, I mean, it could be Yeshua and his sons. It could be the two sons of Moshe. How about Moshe? Moshe had two sons.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know,
Yeah. How do we know it's not Moshe's sons?
Yeah, I'm just. That's the point. Why are we assuming that the default is Itmar and Eleazar, the sons of Aaron? I mean, it could be. It could be this is maybe that the previous psukim were discussing the Aaron and his sons to some extent. So maybe if we assume that's still all related, maybe that would be the way we can understand why it's referring. Like if you look back in the chapter Perek Yud Pasuk Vav. You want to read that, Roy? You could want to read that Pasuk chapter Yud Pasuk Vav.
I haven't got that yet. I got test, 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 Yud, oh, Yud base, Yud test, Yud hey, with above. Here we are. V'yomer Moshe el Aaron el Elazar ulis soma. Is that right? Bonov Ra'ashichem el Tifra'u Uviga Diltem La Tipper Mu V'la Tipmu So V'alko Ha'adam Ha'ida Yiktsof no Yiktse V'achem Ko Beis Yisrael Yivachu Es Asherefo Asher Saraf Ad Hashem. And that translates as 7. You can't see. Oh, 10, is it? No, that's 20. No, 10. And that you may make a distinction between the holy and the unholy. No, that's not it. Oh, sorry. Where's the translation? I can't find the translation.
Want me to check the translation?
Yeah, I can't see it. Oh, 5, 6, 7. And you shall not go out from the entrance. No, where's your translation?
Oh,
Okay,
you want 7 or you want 6?
6.
6.
Moses said to Aaron and to his sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, do not leave your heads unshorn and do not rend your garments, that you do not die. And he became wrathful with the entire assembly. And your brothers, the entire house of Israel, shall bewail the conflagration that Hashem ignited. That's 6. 7 says, do not.
Now go to Pasuk 12. Go to Yud base.
Oh, 12. Moses spoke to Aaron and to Eleazar and Ithamar, his remaining sons. Take the meal offering that is left from the fire offerings of Hashem and eat it unleavened near the Mizbeach, for it is that which is holy of the highest degree.
Now go to Pasuk that's Zion.
Yes, Zion. It's 16.
Hmm.
Moses inquired insistently about the he-goat of the sin offering, for behold, it had been burned. And he was wrathful with Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's remaining sons, bidding them to say.
So you see that the whole section here is referring to the interaction between Moshe and Aaron and his sons, right? Eleazar and Ithamar. So now when we come to our section, right? It could be safe to assume that it's a continuation of the previous section, which was in reference to the discussions taking place between Moshe, Aaron, and his 2 sons, Ithamar and Elazar. That could be why it's the default by us is going to be to Eliezer and Ithamar.
Okay. How do we know that Hashem said that it was Moshe who should say unto them, and not Moshe telling Aaron to say unto them.
It seems that it's actually the latter. It seems that Moshe was told to tell the Aaron, and Aaron was going to talk to his son. No,
He spoke about it should tell in turn. Where's the in turn come from? That's the editor.
yeah, I think so.
I want to go back a second to your point you just made, Rabbi, about the two sections.
Right.
That you're saying this section is a continuation of that section, but there's a difference because in that section that we just read, those three different pasukim that all talk about Eleazar and Itamar, the context in all three of those is that it's the aftermath of the death of the other two sons. So there's a relevance to talk to Aaron and his remaining sons about things that have to do with the death. Whereas in our pasuk now, it's different context. It has nothing to do with that death. It's a new topic.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right. It is a new topic, and it's actually a spacing between the two sections. Actually, however, I'm just trying to think since the contents of what was discussed before, meaning the outcome of the Sreifa, the death of Aaron's two other sons, that was what started things off, and Eliezer and Itamar were included in that, and it was the section of having to eat things or not to eat things. So in logic, it would seem it's a good place to put this section next to the previous section, but again, I still don't see. I agree. I don't see any real reason why we assume the default is going to be to the Itamar and Elazar, and what's the necessity of telling them also? I mean, there must be some necessity in the extra explanation of all this to Itamar and Eliezer first. So yeah, I don't have a good explanation of why this was going to be a special explanation given to private explanation given to Itamar and Elazar more than anybody else. Okay. Well,
Maybe it's Itamar and Eleazar are representing here the Leviim in general. In other words, well, no, but they're Kohanim. No, that doesn't make sense. Never mind.
Yeah. All right. Look, I have to work it out a little bit better. It's not clear to me why it's going to be specifically Itamar and Elazar.
If we make a list of all the possible people that he could tell, we get a big list, don't we? We get several, and they're all possibles. So
Yeah.
what one possible more possible than the other?
Right. Exactly. Why? That's exactly the question. Why is it more logical to have a special discussion of all this with Itamar and Elazar. And where does Rashi know that?
So what does he have to? What is it that he's got to tell? Because the content of what he's going to tell would determine who you tell.
Right.
Well, that except that don't we know that there's a standard procedure that he always tells over to the same people in the same order.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it went. You're right. And that there's another Rashi that explains that first Hashem spoke to Moshe, told him that there were various laws. Moshe Rabbeinu told it to Aaron. Then Aaron told it to his son, right? So in which case, if that was a standard operating procedure, so there would be nothing unique about this here either.
Right. Right.
Okay, let's continue on with the rest of the Rashi. Rashi says, I guess that would be in Pasuk base. Let's see the Rashi in the second Pasuk.
All right. He says, speak unto, I'm saying in English, speak to the children of Israel. The word speak is in plural. He made all of them, Moshe, Aaron, Eleazar, and Itamar, alike. Made them all alike, his messengers, in communicating this utterance. He made them all equal in communicating this utterance, because they were all alike in remaining silent and lovingly accepted the decree of the omnipotent God in respect to the death of Nadav and Abihu. And then he goes on to explain what he's going to say. These are the animals.
It could be maybe this Rashi is helping us out to explain what we were bothered by previously just now. Rashi is explaining that they were all considered to be equal in relating this command, because they were all silent in accepting upon them the decree of the Baruch Hu in a loving way.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, this Rashi helps us understand the previous Rashi. You see how this is fitting in to answer our question?
I'm not sure I understand the connection.
So again, let's review the Rashi. What does Rashi say here? Right? That kulam hashra loyos shluchim v'dibur. They were all, meaning Moshe, Aaron, Itamar, and Elazar, they were all equal in becoming agents to relate over this command.
Okay, I hear that.
And why? Rashi continues on and tells you why. Take a look. What's Rashi say? Rashi says, they were all equal in remaining silent. The and they accepted upon themselves the decree of the Baruch Hu, loving them.
So that made them worthy to receive Hashem's words, even by a messenger, a human messenger.
Well, that was their reward. The reward was that there wouldn't be just Moshe Rabbeinu giving over these laws. These laws would be related to Klal Yisrael with the whole four.
And what did the rest of the Am Yisrael do? The rest of the people, they didn't remain silent, or
It wasn't discussed about them. They weren't. I mean, it was a tragedy. It certainly was a great tragedy, but the rest of Klal Yisrael, they weren't actual close relatives to the sons of Adam. So they wouldn't necessarily feel the loss so poignantly as the father and the son, my brothers. So, okay, I think that helped us out a little bit.
I'm still not clear. What does the fact that they're equal have to do with the fact that he talks to the sons?
Because as Rashi said, they were all going to be now Kadosh Baruch Hu's agents to relate these laws to Klal Yisrael equally. They're all going to be equally agents to relate these laws to Klal Yisrael. And the reason being, I think, was that they all accepted equally in a proper way the decree of the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
and what if we go from the other end, from the receivers, Klal Yisrael? They would believe and take Moshe Rabbeinu's word straight away. They would do the same for his son, for Aaron's sons?
Well, I guess they would have to. I mean, I mean, they were leaders in their own right to a certain extent, not as great as Moshe Rabbeinu, but that's a general question you can ask. I mean, even when Aaron's included, I mean, the authority of Moshe Rabbeinu, his prophecy was on a higher level than any other prophet that ever lived, and so he was certainly greater than Aaron and his sons in terms of his abilities of prophecy.
Yeah, well, Aaron would know what the content is, because he have to tell his sons. Moshe told Aaron and Aaron's sons, so Moshe and Aaron already know, and the sons are the bridge to the people.
I don't think that we've answered anything though, because the deeper maskil is speak to the children of Israel. You could ask the same question. Where did Rashi get that it refers to Elazar and Itamar? It says Bnei Yisrael. Maybe it means that everybody is equal. The whole Bnei Yisrael is equal with Moshe and Aaron, and therefore it means speak to Moshe and Aaron, that they speak to them, the Bnei Yisrael.
Well, yeah, okay, that would normally be the case, but in the first pasuk, in pasuk Aleph, it'll be a repetition. It says Yidiber in the first pasuk, Yidiber Adonai El Moshe ve'el Aaron le Alehem, to tell to them. Then it says Hebrew El Bnei Israel. So it must be right that the Lemor Alehem is referring to someone else than the general Klal Yisrael.
I got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the only question is, so why is it that Itmar and Eliezer, they're the default? So here, this second Rashi seems to answer it. I mean, he's adding a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily know on your own in a simple, just a simple look at the psukim. But knowing what Rashi's telling you, since this is somewhat related to the previous parsha, of the loss of Aaron's two other sons, then they received this command, Elazar and Ithamar, along with Moshe and Aaron.
Because they were Kohanim, weren't they?
Yes, that's true.
So, and Aaron was the Kohen Gadol.
Yes.
Kohen Gadol at that time, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, any
Go ahead.
anybody else was Kohanim at that time?
No, they were the only two.
There was only three Kohanim.
Yes, right.
Okay, so as Kohanim, they had the what do you call it? They had the not the right, they had the duty to inform the people.
Correct. That's right. So you don't see the Elazar and Ithamar included in other commands to speak to God in general.
You don't see them included in what?
The command. You don't see them included in having commanding to God in general.
All right.
So, okay, so in any event, so this was a special inclusion based on this Rashi. You see, it was a special inclusion that since they accepted the Gezerah of apparently of what happened previously, they accepted that Gezerah, so that benefited them in the fact that they were now going to be included in this command to Parsha about the very important laws of kashrut. Okay. All right, so that helps us work that out a little bit. I guess that's about our time. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Have a good
Thank you,
Shabbos.
Thank you, Phil, good Shabbos, and Roy, a good Shabbos to you as well. Hashem. And hope you Yom Rishon.
Thank you. Now I ask Lou, is Rabbi Levitt giving a shiur?
I believe he is, yes.
Okay. All right. All right, then. Well,
Everything will be well. Thank you so much.
Hey, Rabbi,
Yes, Lou.
beginning on Tuesday, I think, is Bein Hazmanim. Are we Are we doing anything different, or are we going to keep the same schedule?
Let's see. Maybe we could start a little bit later. We usually start at 9 o'clock. Maybe we should start. Is it better starting 9:15, 9:30? Maybe Rabbi Levitt's going to begin his. He's also going to continue with the Ben Zmanim as well.
I believe so. So we could go from 9:30 to 10:30 if you want, and then Rabbi Levitt wouldn't have to change anything.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. That's okay with me.
Okay.
9:30.
9:30. Yeah.
No, is that Tuesday?
That's starting Rosh Chodesh on Tuesday. Correct.
Okay then. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, thank you for mentioning that. Very good. Appreciate that. Good.
All right, Kol Tuv.
Okay, have a good day.
All right then. All right, good Shabbos. Bye.
Thank you. Good job.